My name's Jamie from the City of Mandurah, and following Council's reaffirmation of the proposed commercial development on the city's Western Foreshore, I've got some time with the CEO, Mihovilovich, to put some questions to her that we've been seeing on Facebook and we've had from members of the community as part of our ongoing community engagement. Casey, some of the public are not happy about the alcohol and brewery elements of the commercial space on the Western Foreshore. What can you say to them to put their minds at ease?
This proposal is more than a licensed restaurant and microbrewery. It includes an 18-hole mini golf course, a cafe and a chocolate factory. And in relation to the alcohol concerns, we are not authorising or allowing alcohol on Hall Park and on the Western Foreshore. We are approving a premises where a liquor licence will be required at the licensed restaurant and microbrewery, and the proponent will be required to adhere to all the conditions and the controls that are put upon them to ensure that the safe serving of alcohol is maintained at all times. All the respondents that submitted through the expression of interest and offer included an element of food and beverage.
There's a lot of confusion and misinformation about this accession of an A-class reserve. Can you explain what that actually is?
So what we're doing is formalising what's already been on that land. King Carnival has been operating there for decades, and they've been operating as a commercial business. What the excision means is that that bit of land where the commercial space is going to be will be excised from that A-class reserve. It doesn't affect the two large green space areas that are currently used for events such as food trucks or the car shows or the carols. They remain, and also it's important to note that there will be added tree planting so people can actually enjoy that Hall Park area and the grass space and bring their families along and sit under those trees. It doesn't affect the foreshore, which will actually be enhanced with better paths and access to the beach. The only part that the city is requesting the A-class reserve to be excised is the King Carnival site, with the additional space required to ensure that we optimise the tree canopy within that area and for the mini golf course to intertwine around the trees that already exist. So the procedure to excise an A-class reserve, or a portion, which is what we're doing, a portion, is it requires the state government to go out for community consultation and also for the state parliament to approve the excising of an A-class reserve.
Traffic congestion and parking availability are legitimate concerns that have been raised by the community. What's the city doing to mitigate those?
We have heard the community and we've listened to their feedback that we received as part of the community consultation for the major land transaction. We are confident that this feedback can be solved, and we are undertaking traffic modelling currently, and we are also expecting that the traffic options that are available will be completed by April. At that time, we will engage directly with the residents that are impacted, as well as particular stakeholders. It's important to note that not everyone will visit by car, that people will walk, they'll ride, and we also have public transport and the bus services on Leighton Place as well that people can use as alternatives to come and use the site. In relation to parking, currently the Western Foreshore area offers 91 car parking bays. There does need to be more public parking. The plan includes an additional 202 car parking bays, some of which already exist informally on Leighton Place. There will be two other areas for car parking, and one is adjacent to the proposal site, but it will be publicly accessible. And the other one is near the playground and the skate park, which was already identified previously that car parking was required. So we are planning upgrades to nearby intersections to enhance the traffic flow and safety, and these improvements are going to minimise the congestion and ensure convenient access for all.
There's some confusion around the level of Aboriginal engagement that has taken place with regards to the whole of the Western Foreshore Leisure Precinct. Can you explain what the city's done in that space?
Well, the city prides itself in its engagement with our Aboriginal community, especially our elders. There is always more to do with engagement. We are always sitting at the table. We are always listening to their views. We have met with the Windjan Aboriginal Corporation on a number of times to discuss this proposal, as well as the entire Western Foreshore Leisure Precinct area. And that's been demonstrated through the playground, through the meeting place artwork, and we will continue to engage with local elders and Aboriginal community members. As I said before, the commercial space, we will continue to engage with local elders and will ensure that we meet with Ngala Kala in relation to the proposal. We have spoken to the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage on a number of occasions, and more recently the day of the council meeting, and they have confirmed that the proposed commercial site development is not within the actual boundary of the heritage site which they administer. So we have been advised that no approvals are needed under the Aboriginal Heritage Act. However, if there is approvals that are required, we will work with the department and Ngala Kala and our local elders to ensure that we follow the correct process.
Let's move on to the War Memorial, which is part of the broader Western Foreshore Leisure Precinct. How does the proposed commercial space impact the War Memorial?
As part of the Western Foreshore Leisure Precinct, we engage with the RSLs in relation to their needs. What we have committed to in the Western Foreshore Leisure Precinct plan is upgrading the walkways to ensure that they are wider for their marches, and also addressing additional tree canopy and improvements to the War Memorial site. The proposed trading hours for the new licensed venue, licensed restaurant and microbrewery has been thoughtfully planned to ensure that whenever there is an RSL event that is run, that the licensed venue does not open until that event is completed. In relation to the design of the licensed restaurant and microbrewery, it's important to note that there is a requirement to ensure that there is a high architecturally designed and the materials that are being used are in keeping with such an iconic space in Mandurah, and that is why that there is a significant glass that is required and additional high quality materials facing the War Memorial as well as facing the waterways.
Environmental impact is a critical consideration for much of our community. So what is the city doing to mitigate, maybe even improve the environmental aspects of this proposal?
We all consider ourselves environmental stewards. This is the reason why we all live here. The natural beauty of Mandurah is something that is not seen anywhere else around the world. This project will offer a net increase in tree canopy. We're protecting the two large green spaces in the middle of the precinct, and additional trees will make it more usable for families to use. We're increasing the public recreation space alongside the foreshore and protecting those trees that are already there. And we are improving public access to the waterfront right along the foreshore.
One of the reasons this project has been proposed at all is because of the positive economic impact it will have for the city. So what can you tell us about that?
The proposal represents the largest private investment in Mandurah city centre in decades. This is going to create hundreds of jobs during construction and also hundreds of jobs in an ongoing operations. It also expands roles from casual positions to management and apprenticeships. And it's important to note that there is a commitment to work with the South Metro TAFE to offer opportunities for those people in the hospitality area. Over the next 25 years, the commercial tenancies are expected to generate $6.2 million in revenue for the city, and these funds are going to be reinvested into the local community. The way we structured that, it means that it actually is $700,000 more than if we just applied the market rate. It will increase the number of visitors to the Western Foreshore, and it's expected that this proposal will generate a further $30 million in annual revenue for local businesses.
Okay, so I've got some quick true or falses from things that we've seen on social media over the last few weeks. I'm just going to whiz through these, and if you can give me a true or false to each of them. 2/3 of the grassland will be ripped up.
False.
You plan to put in paid parking meters.
False.
Building of the brewery begins on May the 1st this year.
False.
The city and ratepayers are paying for the construction of the brewery.
False.
Casey, thank you very much. If you want to get the facts about the proposed development on the Western Foreshore, you can find out more at mandurah.wa.gov.au/Western Foreshore.